Hey there guys, Abners Reviews here, and today we are checking out the NERF HYPER Mach-100. So there you go guys, that's what we got from our box right there. That is our 80 rounds, NERF HYPER rounds. Remember that it doesn't come with an individual canister. And of course our safety glasses right here. And of course you see our blaster right here, the NERF HYPER Mach-100 right here. So right here you see that we have a massive blaster right here. This is around 60 cm. In total length right there from tail to tip right there. The NERF HYPER Mach-100 right here is a hopper fed system for it to be able to fire our NERF HYPER rounds right there. So we have seen one that is close to this on our channel, and that is the NERF rival charger. We have reviewed that from before. If you want to check that out, link right here and on our video description. So this is really groundbreaking right here. It is the first one on our channel which we are reviewing with this hopper system. So this is our gun grip right here. As you can see, this is caged on this massive body on the back of the blaster right here. So this is not removable in any way. It doesn't also extend. So that is our stock right there. That is part of the gun entirely. You cannot remove that or extend this part right here. Of course, this is our rev trigger, this neon green part right here. And as you can see, my hands, even though a bit larger, can fit this blaster really well. So as you can see, that is our rev trigger again, and our main trigger with the same color inside right here. And that is a design that is arced from here to there. So you can see it's somewhat like a triangle. The combination of white and blue on the body part is really good to pop out the color of our rev trigger and the main trigger right there. On the upper part is somewhat a gray carbon color with a dash of neon right here. Hyper line from NERF combines these colors, so gray, blue, white, and this neon color right here. So when you buy a hyper line blaster, you'll always see these designs. So this one is partly on the front of the gun, is where your left hand or assistive hand would be. So that is where you hold on to create more balance in terms of ergonomics of the gun. It's really quite a massive gun right here, and you can see the hyper branding right there in front of our blaster. And that is our muzzle right there. So a bit of combination of neon green and orange for the tip. Of course, this is also non-extendable, as it is not a regular muzzle that we see from our older blasters. So you cannot extend this one. Onto the top right here, we will see what we mentioned earlier, this is the hopper system right there. You can see that there are moving parts inside there. Those will enable this blaster right here to feed the NERF HYPER rounds to the system. So those will be rotating at a fast pace when we rev the gun. On the upper part it says eyewear required, which is why the safety glasses is really included on our package right here, because this blaster right here boasts of 110 in terms of FPS. So that's how powerful this blaster is as advertised. So again, on the hopper fed system right here, all you need to do is open this hatch right here to reload. So that is where we would be reloading our gun right there. In terms of tactical rails, we have one up here and a rather large one down here on our blaster grip cage right here. See, there's our grip, and below it is this really large tactical rail down there, which you can attach refill canisters branded by NERF as well. They come in 150 rounds variants, so those are sold separately. This blaster did not come with any canisters. So on the other side, the left side, to operate our NERF HYPER Mach-100 right here, we need 6X 1.5 volts Type D batteries. So you just need to undo two head screws right there to open our battery compartment. And here, just above that, is our jam door. Right there, so if ever there's a jam, just open this one to correct it. On the other side right here, you can see just above our rev trigger and our main trigger right there is our safety. At this state, this is locked. You cannot push the rev trigger right here. To operate, you just need to toggle this switch upwards. There. So now you can push the rev trigger to operate our blaster. So up here on top of our blaster, we have a makeshift sight right there. It is foldable. So all you need to do is push this up right here. There, so that is our makeshift sight right there on the tip of our blaster right here, just above our muzzle right there. So if you're not using that one, you can put a canister in here on this tactical rail, or you can put the larger ones down here on our blaster grip cage right there. So in terms of included features and attachments, the NERF HYPER Mach-100 right here comes with 80 rounds of NERF HYPER rounds, safety glasses, and that's it. So it is a very much huge gun right here. It looks good, it looks great, but it only comes with those and two tactical rails. So in terms of included features and attachments, we are giving the NERF HYPER Mach-100 a score of 4 out of 5. In terms of grip and handling, I have a fairly large hand, but still the grip that is given to me by this blaster right here really is amazing. As you can see, my hands are resting really good inside that cage. Normally, I do not like blaster grips that are caged inside a frame like this one, but for this time and this blaster right here, I would have to make an exemption. My hands are still movable inside there. It's not blocking anything in terms of my movement on gripping our blaster grip here and reaching the rev trigger or the main trigger itself. And it still gives me full control over the blaster even without the supporting grip right here in front. Even just one hand, this still is good in my grip. Plus this stock right here, even though it is not extendable or removable, this will rest on your chest or your arms to provide more ergonomics in terms of the stability while firing our blaster right here. So that is still a plus. So in terms of grip and handling, even though it comes with a cage, I will give this blaster a score of 4 out of 5. In terms of ammo capacity, I will not say it anymore because this is capable of doing 100 rounds at a time inside our hopper system right there. Even though it did not come with 100 rounds, this is only 80 rounds that it's included on our package. Why that is a mystery to me. We will not be tackling that. So NERF only gave us 80 rounds right here, but our blaster is capable of 100 rounds of NERF Hyper rounds at a given time, with or without canister. That is pretty much the pinnacle of how we should have our ammo ready and available to us. So in terms of that capability, holding 100 rounds at a time, I will give the NERF Hyper Mach-100 in terms of ammo capacity a score of 5 out of 5. We have also purchased one of these. These are 50 round canisters, and it also comes with 50 NERF Hyper rounds inside. So that is really cool. So we have purchased this separately from our blaster right here. So again, you can buy 50 rounds with canister or 100 rounds with a canister as well. Those are the two variants available for this line right here. That is our refill canister right here. As you can see, it's all branded with the Hyper branding. And this part right here is the one you attach to your blaster on the tactical rails. And of course, it opens up like this. So just push that, and there you go. Those are our 50 NERF Hyper rounds right there. So we will use this one in reloading our NERF Hyper Mach-100 for the first time, and also so that we can show you that you can attach this one to the blaster. So just a note on reloading our blaster right here, because this one does not go entirely like 90 degrees. So that is the extent of how it can open. So I think it would rather be cumbersome for some to use this one because it doesn't open fully, but let's try it. So we have our canister right here. Let's open that up. There we go. So there, a couple of them fell on the floor while reloading. So that's how you reload a NERF Hyper Mach-100. So that's how 50 rounds of NERF Hyper rounds look like inside our hopper system. Remember, we still have 80 rounds over there. We are just trying this out. We can most likely mount our canister right here on top or down here. So I would prefer not to mount it here, so I can use the makeshift sight right there. So let's just put it under here. Now it is attached to our blaster right there. So I think this bottom tactical rail is designed for the 100 rounds because it would definitely be longer in here. So okay, let's try putting it on the top. And there we go. So we have fresh batteries right here from Everready. These are type B batteries, 1.5 volts. So all you need to do is undo 2 screws right there to access our battery compartment. So that's our battery compartment right there. So it should fit 6 type D batteries. So let's get to it. So all our batteries are in. Let's now close up our battery compartment. Okay, batteries done. NERF Hyper rounds reloaded. Now we can check for our FPS. there you go guys with our FPS test for the NERF HYPER Mach-100. So as you can see, it almost reached its promised FPS right there because we have it at max at 108.2. So of course these tests vary, and rest assured that we have repeated this test a number of times to get the best results. But I think the NERF HYPER Mach-100 right here, although it's really hard to test because it is designed to be fired full auto and not like a single round at a time. So we reached a max of 108.2 on our chronograph right here. So that is good for us in terms of this test. So we will give the NERF HYPER Mach-100 in terms of FPS a score of 5 out of 5. That was some crazy firing test right there. It was at times scary because the projectiles, our hyper rounds right here, is really coming back to our faces. We could say that we now understand why a safety glass is included on the package, because it just really packs a punch right here in terms of launching those NERF hyper rounds right there. So I guess you already know what score we are giving the NERF HYPER Mach-100. Not in terms of accuracy, but you know that this time this would be in terms of rate of fire. So we are giving our NERF HYPER Mach-100 a score of 5 out of 5. So there you go guys, hope you liked our quick unboxing and review of the NERF HYPER Mach-100. This is a really powerful blaster right here, given that it uses 6 Type D batteries to operate. And mind you that the NERF HYPER rounds are smaller than our rival rounds, so they would be easier to push out the blaster right here. And provided that we are using the hopper system right here to launch our hyper rounds, we now know why the safety glasses are included on the package, because some of the projectiles, some of our hyper rounds really reach us close to hitting our eyes while we were doing our firing test. And primarily the design really do like. It's really refreshing. Really like those colors. They complement each other. Turned out as really a futuristic design overall. By far, I would say that after all the blasters that we have reviewed on our channel, this is the most violent one right here. So I would say that in terms of the rate of fire, this is now our new crown king. So this is really good in terms of the rate of fire. Plus the FPS promise, we almost reached it. If we would be rounding up our FPS results earlier, the one promised on the box, which is 110 FPS, is totally achieved. To sum it up in 3 words, design, futuristic, and power. That is what the NERF Hyper Mach-100 is in terms of its performance. Please do not forget to like and comment on our videos. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing to Abners Reviews. Click the notification bell, select all, so you'll get notified when we upload another one of our blaster reviews right here, as well as our usual video uploads. Also follow us on our social media links right here. So that's been it. This is Abners Reviews, and we will catch you guys on the next one.